which is the pastor, senior pastor of Safe Haven Redeeming Christian Ministry, and Pastor Bertha Brenton, which is the senior pastor of Covenant of Grace Ministries. All month we've been at a round table dealing with women through education, through entrepreneurship, through women in hospitals that's not doctors, and really finding out some deep hidden secrets about them. And this is our last week. Women History Month is over for the round table, but I will be back with other women, but we won't be dealing with women around table. But now, you know, you have so many women entrepreneurs out here, and they're always looking for grants. They're always looking to see where the money is. I have a lady here in the studio with me, and all of you guys know her as the grant lady, but let me tell you her real name. Pastor, minister, elder, and it's probably some more titles than evangelist, Sister Gwen Curry. She is the grant lady. And how are you today?
Honey, if I do any better, I'd have to take something from
Okay, well, I'm going to use that. I love it. So look, as we're in the middle of Women History Month, we know every day for us is Women History Month, but I love the idea that they gave us a full month where we can feel special, we can pour in, we can nurture other women and educate other women on letting them get to their next epic dream that they're trying to do. And you have had a chance to do that with helping people write grants. Why did you start helping people write grants, and how did that even come about?
Well, I was in Charlotte, and I was pastoring a church, and I was in front of a housing authority, and I had 100 little children in my after school. And they were sitting on the floor, and I was cooking big pots of spaghetti and all that. And a lady stopped in, and she said, "You know what you need? You need a grant." And she proceeded to pay a grant writer to train me and also pay for my 501c3. And my first grant was $25,000, and the rest is history. And $65 million later, and almost 40 years later, here I am still doing it, but doing it working smart and not hard. And I have what is called a joy, not a job. Job means just over broke.
Yes.
But
yes.
This is my joy, it's my passion, and it's my purpose because it's ministry. I mean, it's servanthood. I help people that help people. I help people that have a vision and a mission to help the least, the last, and the lost. And if they're willing to stay the course and follow a process, they can get the funding, because the funding is to help the people.
So what's the biggest grant you have ever helped a customer receive?
$5 million.
$5 million?
In South Carolina. It was to build veteran housing. Yeah, so it was $5 million.
So what's the process? When you first start with one of your customers, because we're going to be doing a grant writing class at our Black Music Month conference, and we'll educate them at the end after I interview you on that. But what's the process?
The process is, first of all, you have to have a nonprofit. I specialize in not-for-profit grants. There's some for-profit grants out there, but that's not my forte. I could do them, but really they're so easy. The person who's in business can do that themselves. But the nonprofit grant, we start out with a vision and a mission, and I make sure that I get them their 501c3, their nonprofit status. And then they have to make sure that they've done a pilot program that's evidence-based. An evidence-based intervention is what really gets you funded, not your idea of what you want to help the people with, but you have to have something that's proven, that's measurable, and that has outcomes that can be measured, so that the funder is really investing in impact, that you're changing behavior or sustaining behavior change. That, in essence, is what grants are for.
Thank you so much for educating our community just a touch, and we will educate our even more at our Black Music Month conference. Amen. On grant writing classes. But I want to find out, who is Miss Gwen Curry? Who is she? Like, what do you like to cook? Do you like to cook?
Girl, I'm Vegan, I like to cook all kinds of vegetable dishes and make them, spicy. I cook real spicy. And I do a lot of juicing. I just juiced this morning. I juiced some celery, green apples, and bitter melon.
Ooh.
Bitter melon brings down your blood sugar level, so I'm working on that. Yeah, so I do that kind of stuff.
So, do you ever ask yourself, how did I get here? Because when one of my book writing classes, you were in it, and you were writing your book, and you had like a 3-prong book, like 3 different chapters, 3 different stories.
Yes.
And so do you ask yourself, how did you ever get here?
Sometimes, but I found out how I got here. It's God. It's when I gave God my existential yes, that I would help people and I wouldn't just keep going after the money for my own organization. I would step back and become a consultant and a solutionist and a game changer and a gatekeeper in the community to make sure that people are doing programs that are worth funding. So I got here because I found out that God was writing through me as I raised my vibrational frequency to the level where money is and where success and excellence is. I had to vibrate at a higher level, and I had to let go of what no longer served me.
Now that's good. Letting go of what no longer serves you.
And that's how you get success. That's how you get to where you want to go in life, in any career. You know, the 5 people that's closest around you, you're going to wind up just like them financially, intellectually. So I had to let go of a whole lot of dead weight.
That's good. Well, we are sitting in the middle of the D.L. Hughley show. I do have to go to a break, but I do want to let our audience know that we will be having a grant writing class at WUFO's annual Black Music Month conference, which will be June the 20th, 21st, and 23rd. And Ms. Gwen Curry will be conducting that class. We will have full information on the radio starting next week about that. But Gwen, if someone can't make it to our grant writing class in June and they're like on the edge of their seat and they want to start now, how do they reach you?
They can call me 704-491-5745. They could call me, or they could DM me on Facebook, Gwen Curry, or they could go to my website, grantladyfoundation.us.
All right, we are sitting right in the middle of the D.L. Hughley show, and on the other side of the break, I'm going to have in the studio with me, Ms. Robin Truesdale. I'm sorry. Calling her Truesdale. Oh. Ooh. Like you need something else on your plate.
I help my niece.
She helped her niece.
She did one. It's called.
She helps her niece do one.
There's one called Flavor My Pit.
There's one called Flavor My Pit.
My Plate.
My Plate. Yep.
Yeah, it's a cookbook.
She says she needs that in her life. Hey, this is for you, Mama. Yes. Yes. Don't you love it? I eat it with everything. Yes. So look, let's talk. If you want to wait around till I finish at 6 o'clock, if not, I'll call you.
I'll wait.
Okay. Why do I want to keep saying true out? I'm like, Jesus. This is for you. I really appreciate you coming on with us.
Thank you.
I know it was last minute. I'm like, get my girl in here. So we're going to talk about, I know you do grant writing, and so that's what I want to do. Because I want to talk about your grant writing that you do at Community Health Center of Buffalo, but I'm asking you some hidden questions, and then we're going to talk about Premier CI, right? Talking about men, you being the only woman owner, and how did that come about, and how is that being in that space as a woman owner?
It's created. I have an EIN. You got your articles for the nonprofit. My fee is $875. You pay $600. $500 for registration.
you?
I've been good. How about you? You been good?
Good.
Yeah, Coach Mookie told me Saturday you're gonna have, and that's our Easter egg hunt.
Yeah. We're playing something now.
Chanel, are we still on Facebook?
Yep.
Hey, Facebook, how y'all doing? I ain't want to leave y'all out there hanging. I didn't know if we were still on live. But I want you guys to come to our Easter egg hunt on Saturday at Mount Olive Missionary Baptist Church on East Delavan. Bring the kids. It's from 12 to 3, and it is a free event. And then Friday, come to our 7 Last Words. It's going to be across the air. We've been doing it for 18 years straight over the air. All women that's going to be bringing what thus said the Lord for the 7 Last Words. So make sure you guys stay tuned to us. And if you want to go to Detroit, get away for one day, come jump on the bus with us. We're going to be going to Detroit, to Motown, and to Charles Wright Museum. So I got about 15 seconds. I can finish telling you guys about Detroit. So come on down to the studios. We at 143 Broadway. I'm going back on the air. Tune to us. Chanel, I'm back. Close the door. All right, it is your girl, Sheila L. Brown. I am sitting here all month long. I've been interviewing some amazing women at the round table about their business, being an entrepreneur, being women in ministry, education, nonprofit, women working at hospitals. It has been amazing for me and fantastic to really learn some of their behaviors outside of their actual job. And now I have in the studio none other than Ms. Robin Truesdale. Ms. Robin, how are you today?
I'm good, Sheila.
You
How are
doing
you?
well?
Thank you for having me.
Well.
Thank you
Thank
for having
you
me.
so much for coming. On the other side of the break, I was talking to Ms. Gwen Curry, which is a grant writer.
Yeah.
And now we want to bring you in because you're a grant writer for CHCB, which is Community Health Center of Buffalo.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about how you became starting to be a grant writer.
It started my background. I worked in nonprofit for most of my working career, at least 25 years. And 10 of those years, I've been program coordinators, directors, supervisors. So being in those positions, part of my responsibility was writing grants, managing the grants, responding to RFPs, working on budgets and program development.
So how long have you been with Community Health Center of Buffalo?
I just started with Community Health Center. I just started in September with them, which so far has been amazing, working with the team of individuals led by Dr. Ansari, who's the CEO of the Community Health Center of Buffalo. I'm learning a great deal from her as well. But it's only been a few months, like I said, being there. So there's a lot to do.
Yes.
There's a lot of work, but I love it. I love it.
Have you been awarded any grants for the CHCB yet?
Not yet. I've written, so I'm waiting for responses. One program that I'm working with in particular, besides working for the Community Health Center as a whole, is collaborating on poverty elimination. It's a new program through the Community Health Center. Actually, it's a collaboration of the Community Health Center, CAO, and BFNC. And their focus is health equity and the social determinants of health. So I'm working with them, trying to get some funding in for them, waiting for a response from Ralph Wilson. We've had some meetings with the Oshai Foundation, and I just have some that's I'm in process of writing and submitting for them.
That sounds good. Well, I want to know, who is Ms. Robin Truesdale? What's some of your formula to win?
Oh man, wow. I don't know. Sheila, we our families known each other. Our mothers
Yes.
in particular have known each other for a long time, and I just always, I see different things, and I just have an idea, and I look at it. I was like, oh, I think I can do that. you know, I begin to research. I love researching anything, and I don't claim to know everything, but I can research.
Did not know that. Okay, I like that.
To find that answer.
Yeah.
You know, and especially when it's things that you know, pique my interest. I've never been one to just do one thing, whether it's professionally, you know, or personally, you know, any hobbies, you know, things like that. I like to keep busy on various things. So, you know, it's not always money based.
Right.
You know, but still something that, you know, I can do, you know, and I, you know, people just who know me and know how I like information, I like learning, you know, they'll call me or they ask me, it's like, hey, you know, I got this idea, you know, can you do some research for me? Can you get some information for me? So, you know, I do a lot of that as well with my business at Truesdale Management. You know, I do business formation for people who want to start a small business. You know, I help people with that as well. So, you know, it's just a mindset for me.
It's a mindset. It's a mindset. I love it. Do you like to cook?
I love food.
Yeah.
That
probably would be my answer.
Yeah. I'm a foodie. I cook to survive, Sheila. But I love, you know, fine foods. You know, I love Italian foods. I tell people all the time, I think I was Italian in another life, maybe. You know. Yeah. But I love food, and like I said, I cook just to survive.
Yeah, there you go.
I respect and I appreciate those.
You like to cook, right? Me too. How do you beat down fears that come up in your life?
Oh, that's a good question. You know, you just have to keep pushing. Yeah. You know, and you have to have faith that, you know, whatever that fear is, that it's only for a season. So, you know, I just try to, you know, deal with it until that season passes. You know, I talk to certain friends or family, you know, about certain fears, but, you know, I do keep a lot to myself. But I know it's temporary. I stay, you know, faithful and prayerful, you know, and, you know, I just, you know, kind of wait it out and, you know, muddle through that storm.
Yeah, I love it. I love how, you know to cast it all over to the Lord and God will see you through. Yeah. You know, weeping endures for a night, but joy comes in the morning.
That's right.
And you know that we will not always be in that space. Correct. Of fear. Right. You know, and if we just turn over to the Lord, because God said we should fear nothing. Right. You know, right. So I love how you embraced and put God in there. But, you know, you are a business owner more so than just helping people start their business. You are a part owner of Premier Cigars on Jefferson Avenue. Yes. And that's all men. Yes. And you are the only women at that round table with the men. Yes. How did that come about?
The other partners, we've known each other for many years. We smoked cigars together. We used to frequent, you know, certain places where we smoked cigars, and you know, again, our families, we've known each other, you know, for a long time. So we've you know, we're not new to each other, you know, because of the business. And we had tried to open the cigar shop probably about 5 years ago, if not more. And you know, it didn't work out, and I just I was very disappointed. Mm-hmm. You know, I was very excited, you know, about that. And when it didn't happen, you know, I just had to really sit back and reflect and say, you know, this wasn't the right time. And in 2019, I believe it was, one of the owners he called me and he said, we're going to open a cigar shop. He said, you want in? I said, yeah, I want in. So I counted, got my little pennies together.
Yes.
And in 2020, we opened Premier. So we built out, during COVID, which of course, was a challenge in itself, but it was great, but it gave us some time to really, we weren't in a hurry, to get it done. But it gave us an opportunity to really plan out, our strategy of what we wanted and how we wanted it.
I love it. What's some of the future plans for the company?
Well, hopefully next month we're going to be renovating the inside. We had some work done on the outside of the shop. So we got a new door, new windows. We have an awning now. So we did some updates on the outside. So now it's time to do some updates on the inside. New flooring, ceiling. HVAC. So it's gonna, and I'm so excited.
Now, will you guys be totally closed, or you'll be on the outside, or are you gonna have a tent?
We're trying to figure that out right now, because we're probably looking at least 2 weeks that the shop will be closed. So we're going to try and figure out, if we can do some pop-ups or, see some spaces that are close by that we can potentially use temporarily. So those are some of the things we just have to still figure out, when the time comes.
For the last probably 5-6 years, I'm hearing more and more people talk about cigars and smoking cigars across the country, right? Is it more of a relaxing state? Is it more of a place where you can go? Like people say, it's almost like playing golf. When you come in, you meet people, you make business deals, going across the table. What is it like in Premier? Give me the atmosphere that's in there.
That's just it, Sheila. It's very relaxing, and at least for me, there's the one thing about being a cigar smoker, and no matter where I go, even when I travel, I look for a cigar shop when I travel.
Wow.
I
Okay.
do. Before I leave Buffalo, I find a cigar shop or wherever I'm going. And when someone sees someone else, it's like seeing a relative.
They say it's like a community.
It is, mm-hmm. It is. And then that strikes up a conversation. And I have to say that when that happens, it doesn't matter. All it takes is, oh, what's that you're smoking? And then the conversation starts from there, whether it's black, white, male, female, doesn't matter. But, it strikes that conversation, but definitely at Premier, it's definitely a networking place for a lot of people. And, it's also a place where, like, for example, when the shooting at Tops occurred, I was at the shop that day when it happened. And I was sitting outside when it happened. And when it happened, and, of course, it startled me. So, immediately, because I was there.
Because you guys are a stone away
Correct.
From where Tops actually is located.
Right. And, when the word started getting out, what happened, my phone was ringing off the hook, and people were calling and checking on me. And probably about 5 of my customers, they came down and sat with me. And, days and weeks after, Premier Cigars was a place for, where a lot of us, we came, we shared our feelings about what happened. We consoled each other. You know, we went through sadness, anger, you know, fear, you know, so that was a location. And that was when I really realized how important Premier was to the community. And people had asked me, they was like, you know, are you guys going to close down for it? I said, no, we're not closing. I said, because that will be giving him what he wants. Yeah. You know, so we stayed open, and, you know, it was great. It was great.
Well, thank you so much for being part of the roundtable, educating us with grants and, you know, all what you do in your professional life, but then being a business owner in a man's world. And you are holding that banner up so wonderfully for us here in the city of Buffalo. Because are you the only woman owner?
I am.
This part of a cigar?
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
Yes,
Congratulations to you on that.
Thank you. I may possibly be the only Black woman cigar shop owner of a premier cigar retail shop and lounge in the state.
Yeah. Congratulations. That's huge. That's huge, you know, and our parents wouldn't have had it no other way.
That's right. That's right.
So I love it. Thank you so much, Robin. How can the community reach you if they need to?
I'm on Facebook. Again, the cigar shop is at on Jefferson, 1327 Jefferson. My Facebook page is Robin S. Truesdale. Premier Cigars have their own Facebook page, Premier Cigars and Lounge. On Facebook, Instagram, I am Cigar Girl on Instagram. And yeah, everything else, anything regarding, you know, the grant writing, you can always, you know, just hit me up. You can DM me, or, you know, just send me a message through Facebook.
Wonderful. To my audience, I want to personally thank Ms. Mercedes Wilson for the sample jars of relish. She has given each and every woman that we had a chance to interview a sample jar of her relish, which can be found at Lexington Co-op, Tops Market, Wegmans, Dash, and so many more grocery stores. And, you know, I always tell you, whatever you do, stay in God's hands. But, Robin, I want to say to you, all month long, my quote has been, Cicely Tyson once said, the path that you are on was designed for you and you alone. And my sister, with you being the first African-American woman, just woman, period, being an owner of a cigar lounge, kudos to you.
Thank you,
and
Sheila.
keep on the path that you're on.
Thank you.
We're going to go back to the D.L. Hughley Show, and whatever you do, stay in God's hands, and we will see you at our Easter egg hunt on Saturday. To the audience on Facebook, hope you guys enjoyed the roundtable of women today and all month long. Make sure you stay with us, power965radio.com or 1080 on your AM dial. I am your girl, Sheila L. Brown.